Hello, I'm Julie Kay and I'm an executive coach, corporate trainer and team facilitator. I help leaders and managers increase performance, productivity and profit by bringing out the best in themselves and their teams. Thanks for finding a few minutes in your busy day to join me and learn how to achieve maximum performance improvement with minimal disruption to your core operations. Have you ever been sent on a traditional training course, perhaps 3 or 4 days away in a hotel? You might not have been clear why you were sent or what you were going to do on it, but hey, you ended up having a great time, learning lots, and maybe staying up too late in the bar with colleagues. Or perhaps that was just me. At the end of the programme, you wrote your action plans, probably while your mind was on the journey home, and then you go back to the real world. You get into the office after 3 days away. Your in-tray is bulging, your mailbox looks like it could reach Mars and back, people are pouncing on you before you've even managed your first cup of coffee of the day, and then your boss says something like, "Good holiday? Well, forget it, you're back now." At that point, it's likely that your course notes go into a drawer never to be seen again, and your good intentions fly out of the nearest window. Okay, maybe that's a slight exaggeration, or maybe not. So how do we achieve maximum, measurable and sustainable performance improvement with minimal disruption to core operations? In my experience as a learning and leadership specialist, I've discovered that there are consistently 5 barriers to realising your potential as a leader and manager, and I've designed a 5-part learning framework to address each of those barriers. The first barrier can be a lack of clarity. Clients contact me because they want to improve performance and productivity, but might not have a clear picture of where they're aiming to get to, or don't have a route map showing them how to get there. They're probably able to name someone in the business that they see as an outstanding leader, but can't really pinpoint what behaviours and skills make them outstanding. I use a practical, robust tool to help you identify exactly what your leaders and managers need to do in order to achieve your business goals. We'd benchmark each manager's strengths and areas for development and then create simple and sustainable personal development plans. So we establish clarity. The second barrier is a lack of skill. Now that might sound harsh, but managers the world over are often promoted based on their functional or technical expertise rather than their people management skills. We throw them in at the deep end and we expect them to swim, often without any specific management training or development. I help your learners develop one skill at a time, 1 month at a time, with space and support in between to practice, experiment, reflect and learn. We're building competence in an effective, realistic and sustainable way. The third barrier is a lack of will. No one wants learners turning up on the first day of training having already decided it's irrelevant and getting in the way of their real work. It's vital to involve them from the outset so they get their "what's in it for me" issues addressed early. That way they're much more likely to take responsibility for the success of the programme. I designed the learning to suit different learning styles and business priorities, with a range of delivery options including webinars, teleseminars, face-to-face bite-sized sessions or longer retreats. Your learners learn what they need, when they need it, in the way they want to learn it and that fits your business. We're encouraging commitment from the outset. The fourth barrier is a lack of support. Do you know that the most important factor in how well learning's transferred back into the workplace isn't the design of the training, or the trainer's skills, or even the interest level of the learner? It's the attitude of the learner's boss. That's why it's crucial to work with line managers and programme sponsors to ensure as far as possible that a supportive learning environment is created. Outside your business, learners can also join my online learning community, which lets them share goals, successes, learning and advice with other leaders and managers. Research shows that this informal social learning is really effective for adult learners, so we're building a dynamic learning community. The final barrier is a lack of self-belief. Most traditional training focuses purely on acquiring new skills, but applying those skills, which after all is the most important part, is often hampered by a lack of confidence, negative thinking, unhelpful beliefs, or poor relationships with bosses or peers. I think you'll be seeing by now that this learning framework goes beyond skills and knowledge training and addresses the thinking and beliefs that get in the way of changing behaviour. That can be done through coaching, keeping a learning journal, or establishing in-house action learning sets. Whatever works best for you in increasing the confidence of your managers. In summary then, lack of clarity becomes clarity, lack of skill becomes competence, lack of will becomes commitment, lack of support becomes community, lack of self-belief becomes confidence. At this point you may be thinking that this framework seems to be taking a sledgehammer to crack a nut, and you can just send your people on a generic management programme. In that case, I suggest you save your money and just buy them a book each on how to manage or how to lead. There are thousands of them out there. But you know that's not likely to work because all these other elements are missing. On the other hand, you could be thinking this sounds great and a lot of work, and we couldn't possibly fit it all in as well as do our day jobs. In reality, my clients don't find it too much to deal with because we break everything down into small, doable steps. We make everything as simple as possible and no simpler. We use straightforward, easy to remember models, practical templates and a step-by-step approach so that learners and sponsors can concentrate on finding out what works and what doesn't work for them in their specific environment. Now, I recognise that you may well have some of these 5 elements already nailed. For example, you may already be delivering a great leadership or management programme, but know it could be improved even more by adding individual coaching or a social learning community, or by getting more buy-in from senior managers. Or you may want to start from scratch and need help in establishing exactly what an outstanding leader looks like in your business. You might want individual support for one key manager to identify what strengths and skills are important in that specific role, clarify and agree expectations and design an action plan. I'm likely to be able to help you with each of those elements. Or you may want to use the complete 5-part framework to skyrocket your results. It might help you to decide when I tell you that a number of years ago, a study by the International Personnel Management Association found that ordinary training typically increases productivity by 22%, while training combined with coaching increases productivity by 88%. And that's just 2 of the elements of my framework. When you incorporate all 5 and do it in a way that's easy to fit into your busy schedules and is seen as practical and relevant, it can only increase productivity even further. So whether you're looking to support an individual manager, considering running a leadership and management workshop, or beefing up what you already have in place to make it more effective, call me now for a free, no obligation strategy session. In that session we'll discuss your current context, your desired outcomes, what's working well and what's getting in the way for you. We'll examine whether those issues are best addressed by this kind of approach, and if not, I'll suggest other ways you might tackle them, usually using the skills and resources you already have within your business. If we establish this a development programme would be appropriate, then we'll look at whether I'm the best person to help you. If I don't believe I am, I'll say so, and even help you find someone who's a better fit, if that would be helpful. So you can't lose. At worst, you'll walk away from a free consultation with greater clarity and some pointers to help you move forward. At best, you'll have found the right person to design and deliver the most effective development programme for you, one that will help you achieve your personal and business goals. I really hope you found this valuable use of your time. Call me now on the number below, or if you prefer, just put your name and contact details into the form below and I'll contact you to discuss taking the next step. Do it now before all those other demands get in the way again. A discussion isn't going to cost you anything and just might make all the difference to your performance and productivity.